Liz, I do think it is interesting that he invoked Coolidge as his favorite president, because I think that's like an evolution in conservative basedness. Because like the fact that he has to say you have to pick like sort of a boutique president as your favorite one. Because like heretofore, if you're a Republican or really any presidential candidate, and they ask you who your favorite president is, but especially for Republicans, Lincoln. Right there, it's like almost like you have to say Lincoln.
Yeah, or Ronald Reagan.
Like, didn't that? Who's that little like ginger gremlin who is like the alt right guy who shit himself? Chuck Johnson, I think he wrote a book called "Why Coolidge Matters." So they're reaching into the archives to resurrect the career of one Calvin
he does it
Coolidge.
next.
Yeah,
well, Calvin Coolidge is such a weird choice for those guys because he invented like woke capital. He was like the main guy who was doing that until like, you know, the 2010s. He was like, he had incredibly like laissez-faire pro-business policies, but he would also be like, hey, like, let's not be mean to black people.
This also just like, to me, like this proves some like horrible truth, which is just that none of these guys could take Brandon ever. Because, you know, if someone asked Brandon like what his favorite president was, he'd just be like, you go easy. You're like Lincoln, LBJ, Reagan, like just play the hits. And everyone would cheer because they're just like, yeah, I know those guys. Those are the only presidents I know. The ones on the money and Ronald Reagan.
I like Chester A. Arthur.
Yeah. And all the Republicans are like, especially DeSantis is like, oh, what's the most like obscure based one that like the 45 follower count Pepe is going to like really repost to his like 200 people in his group chat. And that will get, it's like, dude, just go for the hits. But they won't because they're losers.
Biden likes LBJ so much that he's like doing an impression of his latter presidency.
Skinwalking,
but like way shittier. He's doing the all right society.
As I said, the meh society.
Yeah.
What Biden has delivered thus far.
Yeah, he's doing the like midsummer, like putting the like bear skin on and then getting into the effigy, but it's for LBJ and his skin.
I wonder who is like Eugene McCarthy would be. Like the weird poetic guy who sort of primaries him. It'll be John Fetterman. He'll primary him for like not being pro-Israel enough.
One last thing I will say that I really liked was, well, I don't really like because again, they're all losers. Loser number 4, Vivek Ramaswamy or whatever. He, at one point, so like they're all trying to be like the coolest to the internet, which no, it's not gonna happen. Okay, get over it. But at one point, he's just like, I'm the only one with the courage to come up here and say what people won't say. Like,
why am I the only person on the stage, at least, who can say that January 6th now does look like it was an inside job? That the government lied to us for 20 years about Saudi Arabia's involvement in 9/11. That the Great Replacement theory is not some grand right-wing conspiracy theory, but a basic statement of the Democratic Party's platform.
I think that there's questions about 9/11. Or like, I think that January 6th was inside job. Or he's just like saying all this stuff and everyone's supposed to be like, whoa. But I think that like, if he really wants to get attention, he should, I was thinking about this. I was like, you should do that. But like, you have to actually say stuff that like is going to really like be crazy. Like, I think he should just be like, Nikki Haley, you're a lizard person. You're a lizard person. And also just like start making up conspiracy
take her skin mask
theories.
off on stage. Yeah,
or just like give us some new ones that we haven't heard of. Like that could be like, I'm the only one willing to say that airplanes have never flown ever. Or
same with elevators. You get off on the
Bill
same
Clinton
floor.
is a pansexual. Like just say crazy shit. You know, like thermodynamics is fake. I don't know.
Did you see when him and Nikki Haley, it was not this debate, but the last one, where they went at it and they almost reenacted How Can She Slap? But it was like he said something like, oh, well, you say you're against TikTok because it's Chinese, but your daughter's on there.
Ooh.
Which is like, does he have an alert for every 15-year-old that joins TikTok? How does he know that? I didn't even know that. I know all the minutia about Republican candidates, not 15-year-olds.